everybody and welcome to today's video. In this video I really want to talk about which fibers and what kind of fabrics I choose for my extreme minimalist wardrobe. I have a very small wardrobe with just the things that I need, with just the things for about 1 week of wearing, and then I wash everything, and with a few things like I count the outerwear to my wardrobe, I count the shoes and also my backpack to my wardrobe as well. So I'm gonna share why I choose these fabrics that I use or that I prefer to have in my wardrobe, and let's get started. So the two core values or things that I'm looking for is 1, function, and 2, sustainability. So I really want to have a very good working wardrobe, a wardrobe that does everything I need it to do, that is very reliable, and on the other hand, it's really important to me to choose things that are sustainable, that are not harmful to our planet, and that are long-lasting natural materials. If you're new here, my name is Leah. I upload videos twice a week about minimalism and sustainable living. So if you're interested in these topics, consider subscribing to my channel. What I maybe have to talk about as well is where I get my clothes from. So most of my clothes are secondhand or from a clothing swap, gifted to me by somebody, or really old, and just a few pieces are new. So the fabric you find most in my extreme minimalist wardrobe, I think, is cotton. Just because there are a lot of cotton things available secondhand, because it's a natural material, it's quite common used in the fashion production, and it's good. It's a good fiber. I like it. I don't think it's a particularly amazing fabric or that it has any like outstanding qualities, but it's just a good, basic, reliable fiber. It's not that expensive. If you buy a piece new that's made out of cotton, I try to find an organic cotton, sustainable and fair piece, but I think most of my pieces are not organic cotton just because they are secondhand. I like about cotton that it is long lasting, that it's like pretty easy to wash. There's nothing special I have to do. It's easy to find, it's natural, it doesn't contain any microplastic. It usually keeps its color and its shape, and it's just a very good basic fiber. The other like plant fibers I really want to have in my wardrobe are linen and maybe also hemp, but I do not have any pieces that contain hemp at the moment just because I haven't found any and haven't bought any. I have 1 pair of pants that are like I think 50% linen, and I love the fabric. I'd like to have more pieces that contain linen. Linen is more sustainable when produced than cotton, but usually again I buy the things secondhand, so there's not really a difference among the plant fibers because they are already produced. They are not harmful anymore in the way they just exist like that, and so I try to make sure to find more pieces with linen if I need something new, and for now I just have that 1 pair of pants. For cotton I have, for example, this sweater. It's 100% cotton, which is not really common in sweaters like this because usually there are a lot of like polyester, acrylic and other kinds of plastic fibers in things like that, but this one is 100% cotton, so I was really happy to find it. The linen pants I was talking about is this one. It's my favorite pair of pants, and I will wear them until they fall apart, and I am already looking into maybe buying a second pair if one of my other pants, other bottoms in general do not work anymore, because I'd like to have a second one of that, and I can easily not have a pair of jeans or any of the other bottoms I have if I can have another one of these. Then another fiber that I choose is wool. I know if you're vegan or if you just are concerned about the ethics of harvesting wool and keeping sheep to produce wool, I totally understand that you don't want to buy these fibers new. Now, if I would buy anything that contains wool new, I would really try to make sure that I can trust the source and can see how the animals were treated. But for now, I do not own anything I bought new that contains wool. This sweater, for example, I made by myself from wool I found in my mom's basement. So it's not really secondhand wool or anything, but it's just wool that nobody was planning on ever using again. And so I thought it's a great idea to just make something out of it and use it because it's there. And other pieces I own are like 15 years old, bought by my mom when I was a teenager. And other than that, I don't think I own... I bought one wool silk shirt secondhand last year. I have wool in my wardrobe because it's a really amazing fiber to keep us warm. It doesn't even lose its warming potential, its warming power if it's wet. So if I use it for hiking or something like that and I sweat, it's still keeping me warm even though it's like there's moisture in it and it's not completely dry anymore, because a lot of other fibers that are made to keep our bodies warm do not work whenever they get wet. And I absolutely prefer wool over any like polyester products, just because I do not want to contribute to microplastic pollution, and I don't think that plastic fibers are gonna be the future. And so I really try to be very, very sustainable and ethical when it comes to buying pieces or making pieces or just getting pieces that are made out of wool, but I still think it's the better solution compared to polyester fibers. And then the last kind of fiber I do have in my wardrobe are polyester and other like plastic fibers. This is my ski pants, and it's something like 10 to 15 years old, and it's, I think, made out of polyester mostly. And I do also have a rain jacket. I do also have rain pants. I guess I have even more things that do contain a little bit of polyester. If you want to know more about how many items I have that contain like vegan fibers, non-vegan fibers, plastic fibers, and plant fibers, I will link you a video up here where I looked into my wardrobe statistic of what kinds of pieces I have, if I have bought them recently, if they are new, if they're vegan, if they contain plastic and things like that. So this is one of the pieces that does contain plastic, and I do have a few other ones, and I mostly have these for like weatherproof items. I know that there are brands that are looking into natural ways of weatherproofing their things, but I haven't found any brands that it does completely satisfy me. And again, I buy most of my things secondhand, so I never find pieces secondhand from like a very new brand that really tries to be very sustainable and try to weatherproof things without plastic. So I just try to be as sustainable as possible when it comes to using polyester fabrics. I also try to not wash them too frequently, and if they are small enough, I put them into a ecofriend wash bag. That's a bag that tries to like keep the microplastics in there so we can dispose them into the regular trash instead of them just running down like with the wastewater to rivers and the ocean. As you have seen, I try to avoid plastic fibers as much as possible, but for me, I think it's not always possible, and it's really important to me that I have pieces of clothing that are weatherproof so that I can be outside in the snow, in the rain, in every weather I want to be outside, because I really like the outdoors and I could never sacrifice that, I think. I do also have some leather pieces. Most of them are secondhand, and I know that's a bit of a controversy, having leather pieces in general, or having leather pieces if you try to live sustainably, or even if you are vegan or try to avoid animal products in general. And I have to say, I do try to avoid animal products if possible, but as I said with the wool, it's just an amazing fiber, and I think leather is an amazing thing. It's just because it's so strong, it's waterproof, it's just an amazing thing to work with, to use for clothing and shoes. But I do get that it's really unethical most of the time, and it's not sustainable at all. And so I try to avoid new leather, but I also have to say I am not a fan of fake leather if it's made out of plastic. I have seen other versions of fake leather, for example, made out of leaves, or made out of like apple skins or made out of pineapple, and I am totally open if they turn out to be a good solution. I haven't seen things that are super strong, especially for shoes and for like pieces that have to be, yeah, really, really reliable. And so for now, I haven't invested in pieces that have like fake leather that doesn't contain plastic. We do have a fake leather couch, and I talked about in the video, I'll link you up here. It's a disaster. It just doesn't work. It's just not as good as real leather or any other fabric. It's just, oh, it's a disaster because it falls apart. And also for shoes, I've just chosen to go with real leather for now. The shoes I own are all more than 3 years old, so it's not that I recently purchased new shoes that have leather. No, actually, one pair of shoe is only half a year old, but it was secondhand and contains real leather. But I am super happy with these shoes just because they're so durable. It's just such an amazing material to use. And I also get if you just don't want to use leather because you feel bad, just the feeling of having something made out of leather on your skin or near your body, or just actually using it. But I don't think like that, especially if the leather is secondhand. It's actually, I think it's good to use that because the animal is already dead, it's already produced. It's better if we can get as much use out of it as possible. Now, I wouldn't maybe promote leather products, especially not new leather products, but I just think it's also a question of buying one leather product that lasts for 10 years versus buying 8 fake leather products that last for a bit more than 1 year, just because they fall apart much more quickly because the leather is made out of plastic, which pollutes the environment again, and that doesn't really help our planet or us humans or the animals living on the planet. I know it's controversial, but I hope you understand what I mean, and I would be really interested in what kind of fabrics you use for your wardrobe or just to keep in your house. And I also try to make the same decisions when it comes to home textiles, when it comes to curtains, when it comes to anything made out of fabric in my house. I try to go secondhand. I try to only have natural fibers, and only for the things like shower curtains we have a plastic version, just because I don't think there's a reliable, good working version that does not contain plastic. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked the video. If you want to see more, I link you a video and a playlist right here, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!